Season's already started to change up here. By up here, I'm north of Grayling, Michigan on I-75. Going up to Sault Ste. Marie, a little place that Gordon Lightfoot called the armpit of America. But what does he know? Pretty good songwriter, but sometimes a person ought to stay in their lane, like myself. I'm a truck driver. I'll give you my opinions, but I'll stress it that it's my opinion. Just like a butthole, we all got them, they all smell bad. A lot of crap comes out of them, over a lifetime especially. Of course, this shot that you see here, where the road gives you that opening up view in front of you, it'll become a lot more dramatic over the next couple weeks. The leaves are turning. It's a sign of climate change. The climate's going to change from a summery climate to a fall climate, an autumn climate. It's sweater weather. It's your pumpkin spice, whatever, latte. Pretty neat for me. I'll be going from the very tail of the fish, because you have the bottom of Michigan, of course, looks like a mitten. And the top of Michigan, if you use your imagination, kind of looks like a fish. It's the mitten catching the fish. So I'll be going from the tip of the tail, Sault Ste. Marie. It's not the tip of the tail, but the top of the back, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, all the way down to Virginia. I haven't even really looked at, where in Virginia I'm going. I just know that it's 800 miles away from where I'm picking up. It delivers tomorrow morning at 7:30. So I have a genuine expedited load here I'm going to get tonight. One of them loads where I'll be able to jump in the bunk, get 4 or 5 hour, I think. I'm not even sure right now what kind of sleeping arrangement I have. I may be able to get 8 hours, but I highly doubt it. I don't think time will allow for that. I think it might be as low as 4. But that's okay. You got 700 miles under your belt. 4 hours of sleep will really perk you up, especially if you only got another 100, 200 miles to go when you wake up. And then you can take another nap, or you get your second wind when the sun comes up. All these things are true. I'm sure we'll drop this, start heading back toward the Midwest, and start heading back toward Ohio specifically. But it pays well. The loads are paying better and better. It pays well for me. Now there's some old timers might laugh, but this is $1.40 a mile. The Prez upped our rates a wee bit, and it actually seems like it worked differently than you might think. But upping our rates appears to have gotten us a better range of loads that that pay better, obviously, because our rates, we raised the price to haul. But this is the way I look at it. If you want to get in this business and go through everything it takes to get your DOT-MC number, to make sure everything is, the regulations are all met with. This is why I'm anti-licensure and regulation. It's ridiculous. Don't think for a moment you just go out there, get a van, register some paperwork and go about it. That's kind of it in a nutshell, but it also costs you thousands of dollars. It takes you, and that's above and beyond the equipment. I'm talking about all the stuff you have to do afterwards. Insurance is $805 a month. No exaggeration. That's what it is. $805 a month. It's prohibitive to the new guy coming in. Now, I'm imagining when Tri-State and Load One and some of these big guys, Panther, when they first started this expediting, and it was really getting big, from what I remember in the mid-90s, early 90s, I don't believe there was all this. It wasn't like that. In fact, it wasn't that hard for a big truck. They keep adding to it. Well, why? Some of my friends believe that governmental regulation is a good thing. That, it saves your life. I don't want the FDA. The FDA doesn't save anyone's life. They've killed many more people than they've saved. Once again, caveat, buyer beware. I'm a truck driver. I've been to school. I was a preacher. Done some other things. all these things you can pile on a big old heap, and it means absolutely nothing. I don't believe anybody. You have to be your own. There is no one on earth that you should look to and do the old appeal to authority and say, thus and such is said by them and they. Who cares? What does that mean? Oh, well, them and they're a doctor of whatchamajigger and have a master's in thingamabobs. Okay, all right, that's cool. How long does it take you to learn about thingamajiggers and whatchamabobs? Is it really that? Anyway, I rail on about that. So these things are my humble opinion. Shouldn't matter much to you what I think about anything. So that said, aren't those trees burning? I don't want to be political about things, and it's not because I'm afraid. This channel's already been, YouTube from past forays into thought experiments and whatnot. They don't like me. I've actually have some uploads of just Stephen King books, and they've struck them. Took them down, and I could link to I give them links to the exact same chapter read, no words changed, and they didn't care. It was, I guess, it's not what you said, it's how you said it. I don't know. It's who you are. That's the kind of thing. So it's not that I just, there's so many people telling me what they think about politics and stuff right now. And everything's political. It's difficult to say, well, because I started out with some kind of backhanded joke about the climate. This climate change is going to change from summer climate to autumn climate, blah, blah, blah. But of course, some people wouldn't hear that, and right away it's like, oh, it's a MAGA, crazy, whatever. And I don't know, I'd probably vote for Trump this year because the other alternative to me, Bobby Kennedy, whatever, I don't know. Hope we don't get killed, neither one of them. It's like it's back to the 60s with what they're doing with the race hate, chinning up all these things, using Edward Bernays' tactics, and they're playing the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution, full gear. We're running around pretending there's absolutely nothing wrong with the way things are right now, that you have plenty of freedoms, and going right along with it. They don't even though they're one of the frogs in the pot, and it's starting to get hot in here, they don't feel it. It's not hot. Point things out to them about, when I was a kid, you could walk into the hardware store in Flint, Michigan and buy a 357 Magnum. If you didn't look 18, they'd card you. And that's it. Oh, common sense. What's common sense? I don't even know what, watching this thing yesterday about, here I go again. I can't, whatever. This is what I mean. It's all political. How about this? Leave me the hell alone. I'll leave you the hell alone. I don't give a shit what you're carrying. I don't even care if I can see it. I kind of feel better when I see citizens that are armed, visibly armed, because there's so many, corrupt law enforcement that have this absolute monopoly on force and the use of force and deadly force and all kinds of other force. And they're, absolutely, a lot of them are corrupt. They don't care. They're chicken shit. Pardon my franque, but they're chickens. So, their go-to is to shoot somebody. I'm not going to say it's coming at them with a knife. If somebody's coming at me with a knife and have a gun, I'm going to kill them. Because they're coming at me with with arguably the most dangerous close quarters weapon that there is in the world. And it definitely do some damage to you. A lot of times it's easier to fix a bullet hole than it is a knife wound, that's for sure. Anyway, but they, I've seen them gun people down that were rushing them with bare fists. Okay, maybe they could have a concealed weapon, but why is your weapon already out and pointed at this person? There's arguments for that I could make for and against. They shot that one kid because he pulled his pants up after he foolishly shot an air-powered rifle out of the window of a motel room. That was foolish. He deserved to die. I don't know. All these things are political, though. It's, in politics, it's apt to get a man hung while he's young and pretty. And I still may be able to say that. I'm not super old, I guess. I don't know, 50, maybe super old. I don't know. I don't look like a leatherwork nutsack yet. I hope that I live to look like that. Years ago. ago, I was hanging out with a friend of mine named Gerald Heath, Orlando, Florida, and we took some LSD, really good LSD. It was like the microdot, they called it, but all it was a regular hit that was cut into quarters because it was so strong. If you took a whole hit, man, it's 8 times more than you needed because the microdot was twice as much as you needed. So, we're tripping, and it was the daytime. We're standing around a fire, and we called him Duffy. Duffy's dad was there. Now, I don't remember his dad's name. Duffy was a roofer, stucco man, all kinds of stuff, born and raised in Florida. His dad was a roofer and still did roofing work in Florida. Man, I mean, the guy's neck and his, people automatically will think of, cowhide. It looked far more like a lizard skin, like a snake skin. It was unreal. And I will never forget looking at that guy while he was talking to Duffy. We were probably only there for about 10 minutes, but, he was there. We were at the fire for a long time, but he came and went that one time, and man, it was something. And no medical advice here at all, but, with everything going down, and they're finally, I guess now they're saying that, whatever, the SSRIs, the serotonin reuptake inhibitors is what that is. There's other things that are just, as far as if you're depressed, talk to someone. I believe they would call someone like this a natural healer, and ask them if they know of anything that might help with depression that, maybe society would think is crazy. What comes to my mind is psilocybin. And it's proven how good it is, but like resetting people, helping people put things in perspective and get their minds right. They should take it or whatever. I gotta say that. Although if you're over 18 and you want to do something, you do it, man. It's your life, it's your world, but I would highly recommend that before you do anything, check it out, make sure you know what you're doing. And think about it, in the old days, like, here, have a Camel cigarette, son. All right, Dad. It's like, 12-year-old boy lights up in the field. Yeah, he gets a little buzz and he works hard, but in the end, he didn't have a chance, so he gets lung cancer, he's dead at 50. All right, well, man, it's his life. But maybe if he had a little more information, he wouldn't have huffed that smoke. I've huffed a smoke or two. I'm not going to play holier now, because it's not holy or unholy anyway in my mind. Again, it's your life, it's your lungs. I know one thing, of all the things that I've done, as far as vices for pleasure, that's the one thing that I would have never done if I could go back. Is smoking cigarettes. It seemed like the most ridiculous thing that I could do. The pleasure for me was never there. I wanted to be cool, and by the time I got over being sick from them, I was hooked on them, and that is not a joke, it's not a lie. I remember 15 years old, I was hooked on smokes, I was hooked on Marlboros. I quit smoking by the time I was in my 20s. Actually, was in a really bad accident and started smoking again for about a year and a half, I think, maybe 2 years, in my 40s. And that was crazy. Now, I'll tell you one thing, no matter what happens, it's no cigarette. And the second time around, I can't say it was like the first, because I actually did seem to enjoy them, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. Cough, cough, cough. All right, folks, well, getting close to the Mackinac Bridge, but not close enough to keep you on board here and listen to Viva Fry. He's got some libertarian guy on podcast, one that's like 2 days old or so. Well, check it out. Highly recommend Viva Fry and Viva Barnes. They have a great show. They really do. Robert Barnes, he's one of my favorites. I know he's very controversial. A lot of people hate him, but boy, he's not acting. He does seem to be what I would call a super intellect. He is. Whether you agree with him or not, it would be impossible to say that he is not someone that has a tremendous amount of information stored and with the ability to recall it. You know, up there in the old thinking machine. He's got it there. All right, folks. Well, remember this. If you forget everything else I said today, you know, really don't matter. Forget it all. But remember this. Be good to your friends. Be good to your family members. Be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, family member, is so huge you'll never be able to forget about it. Because, constant viewer, my beloved rider, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life, everything you know will depart from you.